Hi guys, we're at 577 South Main Street today. You can see we've got a little bit of rain going on, but we wanted to show you the house. Now that demolition is done, we are starting to work on it, and we thought we'd give you the lay of the land before it starts to be completely renovated. This home was purchased on Orphans Court, so we did wait probably about 2 months for the house to close, but we did close in January, coming over to 577 South Main Street full time. So come on in.
So this area in here originally was kind of like an addition that was put on. We don't know when. People that originally lived here, did a lot of hodgepodge type of work. So a lot of incomplete projects and random windows and doors and all sorts of stuff. So trying to kind of make sense of that all, but this is in here is going to be kind of a mud room when you come in. We're going to need to get rid of that slider to nowhere so nobody falls off out of there. And then over in this area will be like a washer and dryer. And then behind in there, which was just kind of a little area, is going to be converted into a first floor full bath. So yeah, take a sneak peek in there and look at the walls and look at the old school framing and all that fun stuff. But we're going to be plumbing that for a first floor bath, full bath. There was a window there to your right that we took out and is now that door opening. You can see how well it was originally supported. We're working on getting that back in shape.
John, the flooring, we thought that was really cool. Talk about the flooring for a minute.
Oh yeah, so this flooring here is what we call longleaf yellow pine, which is old growth flooring. A lot of this stuff was used in factories. You can see where the old nails were. But if you look how thin these growth lines are, this is old growth wood. So that means, it's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. It is pine, but this stuff is so dense because of how slowly it grew that it really holds up really well. And a lot of the factories out in Lancaster and that areas, they take those big beams and they remill them into flooring, and that's what it is. So that was kind of cool when we came in here and saw that. We're going to try to save that feature of the house. So
this floor plan, we've got a mudroom, as John just explained. We have a kitchen, dining room, and living room. And then upstairs, it's 3 bedrooms. It will be 2 full bathrooms when we have it fully renovated. The kitchen has a lot of great open space and a lot of natural light. One of the favorite pieces for us coming into this home is this great looking window out into the backyard. Whether you want to see your children playing or perhaps you love birds, it's just a great window to enjoy the backyard. And for the location within the town, the backyard is pretty big for this area and private, which is nice. We are going to keep the same floor plan. As you can see, it's demoed right now, but we'll basically walk in to have a fridge and then a U-shaped countertop space. We'll end up updating it with probably white cabinets, granite countertops, and then all stainless steel appliances. Yeah,
we'll see how that all shakes out. It's not very big, but it'll be functional.
One thing you'll notice in this house is the ceilings are lower. So in some of the doorways, they had the curved. We are going to be opening that up just to make sure if there's someone who is taller that we can have adequate space to come in and out of the openings.
This is just going to be the dining room space.
Yeah.
So this is, will be a full dining room area where where the families can eat dinner. That was that window that kind of looked like this over here, but that's going to be going the entranceway into that restroom. This was a window. We're going to just convert this into kind of some bookshelves and stuff. So we'll leave that kind of old feature here.
And I think that's neat is when you think about a feature like a window and you're thinking, well, I could drywall it, right? And just completely drywall, or I could do a feature like you said. Having a really neat bookshelf that just adds something special to the room. One thing I thought was really interesting is when the carpet got ripped out, this flooring is actually over top of hardwood. And it's got this interesting star pattern, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but there's some glitter throughout too. You can see this gold glitter. And I said to John,
oh, that's gold flaking. That's
gold
right.
flaking.
Yeah, it's the old school disco room. That was probably a disco ball at one point.
Well, and it shows the evolution. So hardwood flooring right now, we would say, oh, we would love the hardwood flooring. But back then, they put this flooring over the hardwood flooring.
Yeah.
So what we're going to look at is, can we take this, what is it, linoleum type of, can we take it up, save the hardwood, refinish the hardwood? If we can't, we're going to end up just doing LVP over this entire downstairs.
Yeah.
We used to have a wood stove in the corner. That is no longer, so we are not going to be speccing the home out to include a wood stove. John, you want to talk a little bit about the wiring with the knob and tube that you found throughout the home?
So yeah, as we started to open things up, everything downstairs, which looked like modern wiring, as we opened some things up, it turned out that there was still some active knob and tube in the property. So now we're going through the process of rewiring the house to make sure that everything's safe. So that brings another element to the project, because we now have to open up walls in more locations to get the new wiring from point A to point B and deal with that challenge. But we want it to be safe and healthy when we're done, so it's an important piece to the process. We also, because we're having things ripped open, the upstairs, this still has the old cast iron piping in it. So we want to pull that out since we have accessibility at this juncture and replace all the old lines with new PVC, so that we're modern and kind of not worrying about that kind of challenge in the future. We
noticed there was patching in the ceiling. And so when there's patching, you know that there was water. My girlfriend Jill and I were standing upstairs, and all of a sudden we heard running water and ran down. And sure enough, when the water was turned on, we had leakage from the bathroom right above here all the way down to the floor. So that was our first find when we were in here standing the first week.
First week of fun.
Uh-huh.
So, all right, let's roll upstairs. Yeah, the ceiling here, that leads up to our the bathroom up above, which we have demoed upstairs there. So
the one thing we love about older homes is just the trim work. It's just really unique, beautiful. So we are saving as much of the trim as we can on this house. Some of it we do have to rip off, but certainly the window trim we're going to be keeping.
Yeah, we're replacing the windows with new windows.
You gonna talk through the bathroom?
Yeah. So here's where you can see, the bathroom, just a collage of blunders when we talk about contracting. So downstairs, we're going to open up the ceiling, see how we can resupport this wall here. And then as far as plumbing goes, we have to replumb this whole section in here. So first we got to get the floor resecured and get everything back to where it needs to be. Then we're going to figure out how to get the plumbing from point A to point B. So that's a challenge in itself, but we'll navigate those pieces as time goes on here. So there you can see the old knob and tube wiring coming through here. So when someone says knob and tube, just so everyone's clear about what that means, these are the tubes that often go through. It's actually supposed to be through here. So the tubes is supposed to go through the wood part to protect it like that. And then the knob is this piece right here. So the wiring goes through a knob and then through a tube, and that's how it has its name, knob and tube wiring.
So this is a front room. Carpet was ripped out. Flooring is still in really good shape, so we'll just be refinishing the flooring. Not much more to do in here other than we've got new windows coming in. Obviously, John's working on the electric, and then we're going to do some painting. This room is unique because it has a walkthrough up to the attic. The attic is not in great shape right now, but we are going to be finishing the attic, not as another bedroom, but just as a usable space for storage. Right now it's filled with mice poop.
Careful up there. Here's a cool feature we found when we were doing this. Storage underneath the step. I was hopeful that it was going to be stacked with hundreds, but unfortunately it's stacked with mice debris.
Then you have a little closet in here. Some butterflies.
It's beautiful. When we really didn't need closets because you only had 2 outfits.
This area we actually ripped apart already. It used to be 2 closets here in the hallway. And we decided we didn't need 2 closets in the hallway. We would prefer to have a larger bathroom. So we kept 1 closet, and we ended up gaining, what do you think, about 8 8 to 12 additional inches, maybe 12 inches in the bathroom. Coming up is the middle bedroom. This is a smaller bedroom, but perfect for an office or a younger child's bedroom.
Mm-hmm. There was a closet there that we removed, so you could actually get a bed in there if you needed to, because that would be that's kind of the space for that. You need to put outlets in here and things like that, so tried to mark out some of that kind of thing. That's the hole from the old from the
wood stove.
Wood stove,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This is actually what we call pumpkin pine, and this is actually this pine is different from what we saw downstairs. This is actually soft, so this is a different material. But this is what we find in this area of Pennsylvania. We find a lot of that in older farmhouses because it was native to the area.
So welcome to the last bedroom.
Watch your step there.
Yeah, watch your step.
That's some more of that knob and tube that was discovered during opening things up.
This is one of our favorite bedrooms, and not because it's grand, but because it's got a walkout patio. The patio is in need of reinforcement, so we will be working on that. But again, great light. It does have lower ceilings. I said to John, why do these older homes have such lower ceilings?
So yeah, they built to what they need. They kept the ceiling down so the heat would stay down. So they were functional, not fashionable like we are today.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of an interesting addition that they added here, where they basically closed in some of a porch to create 2 closets, and there it is.
So one of our discussions was, what do we do with the floor? So the floor is in decent shape, but then transition-wise, the floor did not extend. So if we refinish the floor, we're going to have something different here for the transition. And then what do we do with this area below? So we're working through those pieces. You know, we want to be economical, but we also want to make sure we're doing things that look really nice. And we don't want to, you know, make it look like it was hodgepodge or pieced together.
Yeah.
So more to come there.
Per the local code enforcement officer, we're gonna the deck. This was just like cantilevered out over top of it. This is really interesting how they did this, but yeah, I wouldn't be sitting out there. So what we're gonna do is actually remove this section of it, and then re-support what's here so we can save it, because we have so much of it attached to the house. If it wasn't what it is, it may have just come off, but because part of the living space is on it, pretty much have to figure out a way to keep it. So that's what we're gonna do. This roof over here is going to have to get replaced, but that won't happen until after we get somebody in here because of timing. So we do have to work on this roof here as well. So, but the main roof was all replaced, so that's a good thing. And the flat roof up there was replaced, except for this little section right here. So we do have to deal with this sooner than later, though.
As we look outside, so there's quite a bit of work that we're going to have done on the backyard. When you look down, you can see you've got this goofy, you know, kind of square rectangle piece in the middle of the yard with pavers. And then you've got a deck that's rotting. So everything's going to be ripped out of the backyard, and then we're going to grade and seed. Hopefully get some grass growing. We do have quite a bit of trimming as well in the trees. So we're coming down the basement steps. Definitely not wide enough to bring anything substantial down here. They did have a washer and dryer in this area, but we are going to have the basement really not as usable space. As John mentioned, the laundry and dryer are going to be in the mudroom when you enter the house from the side driveway.
Yeah. So here we're stripping out some of the utility stuff just because, one, it's super old, and two, we want to clean up these, we have to clean up the rafters down here because it was let vacant for a long period of time and it had water in here. So all these beams have to be cleaned up properly and then also sealed up. So this had 4 inches of water in it the other day, so sump pump wasn't working, so we got a new sump pump in it, and dehumidifier, we're back down to where we want it, under 50%. We made a couple of videos on how to maintain and manage your sump pumps on our YouTube channel, so you should check that out. But this one was a replacement, so good stuff to have that behind us and doing what it's supposed to along the way. That's an oil boiler. So at this stage, we're just going to try to keep it up and running, just to get it, because it also does our hot water as well. It does run. We did have it operational, but the oil tank, we have to replace this oil tank. So we're going to work on that. So the backyard here, when we first took possession of the house, was just packed with stuff. I mean, there was a couple trees and bushes in here, like this was like a jungle. Yeah. We thought that was like the rock stage up there. We weren't sure what the heck it was. There's trees right here that were just overgrowing the house and clogging the gutters. You know, you couldn't even get back here. So it still looks bad, but it's a lot better than what it was. Yeah. So we're going to end up wiping out that section, those couple sections of fencing, taking out the bushes here to try to make it a more usable space. Because back here, it's still, this is a great yard back here. Right now it's soupy, but we got a true brick outside bathroom, but that was original to the house, which is pretty crazy. So built like a brick crap house. Here it is. This is the true meaning of that sentence. So, but this was the real deal. It's filled with stuff too. Somebody else's home right now, but this was all packed with stuff. There was a tree right there. I had asked the landscaper not to take it out, but they took it out. So that was one of those wonderful things along the way. But all is good.
So this was John's favorite find, which is a shed of all kinds of toys and ancient artifacts and just things that take you back to, I don't know how many different eras in here.
All these are drawers filled with stuff. This is like this book I found, The Outdoorsman Handbook. It's crazy. Trap shooting, all sorts of stuff, but old school. So, but like all these things, all these areas in here are all labeled. So here it's like assorted machine screws, okay? Gun parts. I don't know what kind of guns. Oh, here's a bolt action for something. Looking for that. So, just like, and they're all labeled. It's like crazy. So somebody spent their lifetime doing this. But door latches, all sorts of stuff. Can't even talk to you. Rifle safety class.
Tennis rackets.
Yeah, they're tennis rackets.
Huh. Look at that.
Know anybody that plays tennis?
Not that.
Not that it. Not that era.
Not that era. Tennis.
Up above here, still storage up above. There's trim. There's doors.
Check
there's
this door
windows.
out. I wonder if we can use this door.
Maybe we can put that on the front door.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'll measure it to see. So, a drafting table. Drill press. Air conditioner. What more could you ask for?
We haven't even looked in the other side of the shed yet.
It's filled. This thing was filled with this. Every time I come down here, I fill my hands up and I take a load up to the dumpster. So you could barely like walk through here. Like this was up to this high. Beer cans,